Hey there, cat parents! You know how much we love those furry little ninjas, but as much as we adore them, their obsession with countertops can be a real pain. It's like they have a sixth sense for sniffing out a stray crumb or an unattended piece of fruit, and who hasn't had their heart skip a beat when they hear that telltale clatter of something crashing to the floor, courtesy of their feline countertop explorer? Look, I get it. Cats are curious creatures by nature. They love to climb, explore, and claim the highest ground. But the kitchen counter, that's where we draw the line. It's not only annoying, but it can also be a big old hygiene hazard. But before you resign yourself to a lifetime of shooing your cat off the counter, let me tell you there's hope. In this video, I'm going to break down some super effective, cat-friendly ways to keep those paws off the countertops for good. We're talking about understanding your cat's instincts, setting up the right environment, and using positive reinforcement to make the countertop a whole lot less appealing. So stick around and let's create a peaceful, cat-friendly home where both you and your feline overlord can coexist in harmony. All right, let's talk strategy. The first line of defense in countertop control is to make that surface less appealing for your feline friend. Remember, we're not trying to punish your cat here, just making the counter a whole lot less inviting. One of the easiest ways to do this is with good old-fashioned deterrents. Think of it like setting up a little booby trap, but instead of catching bad guys, we're catching paws. Now, cats are notoriously finicky, so what works for one might not work for another. But here are a few tried and true methods that tend to send most felines running for the hills. First up, we've got sticky surfaces. Cats hate sticky paws. It's just a fact of life. So, try laying down some double-sided tape, sticky shelf liner, or even aluminum foil. The crinkly sound drives them nuts. Just make sure whatever you use is cat-safe and won't damage your countertops. Next, let's talk noise. Cats are all about stealth and silence, so a sudden, unexpected noise can be a real buzzkill for their countertop escapades. Try setting up a motion-activated air canister or a cluster of empty cans that will come crashing down with a loud clang if your cat dares to jump up. The key here is to make the noise unexpected and startling enough to deter them, but not so loud that it traumatizes them. Now, for those felines who are more sensitive to scents, we can use that to our advantage. Cats have a much stronger sense of smell than we do, so what might seem like a faint citrusy scent to you could be like a blast of air freshener in their face. Try placing citrus peels, a cotton ball soaked in vinegar, or even a commercially available cat deterrent spray on the counter. Just make sure the scent is strong enough to be noticeable, but not overpowering. Okay, so we've made the counter less appealing, but we're not done yet. Remember, cats are natural-born climbers. It's in their DNA. They crave vertical space, and if we don't provide it, they're going to find it whether we like it or not. That's why it's crucial to give your cat enticing alternatives to the countertop. Think of it this way. If your cat had a choice between lounging on a boring old floor and surveying their kingdom from a majestic perch, what do you think they'd choose? Exactly. So let's give them what they want, just in a way that doesn't involve them scaling your kitchen cabinets. Cat trees are your secret weapon here. They're basically like kitty condos, offering multiple levels for climbing, scratching, and lounging. The key is to choose a cat tree that's tall enough for your cat to really feel like they're on top of the world, ideally one that's even taller than your countertops. Place it near a window for some prime bird-watching real estate, and your cat will be in kitty heaven. Window perches are another fantastic option, especially if your cat is a dedicated sunbather or loves to watch the world go by. These perches attach directly to your windows using suction cups, giving your cat a front row seat to all the action outside. Just make sure the perch is securely attached and can support your cat's weight. The goal here is to create a cat-friendly environment that caters to their natural instincts. By providing them with appealing alternatives to the countertop, you're not only redirecting their behavior, but you're also enriching their environment and making them happier, more well-adjusted kitties, and who doesn't want that? All right, now let's talk about positive reinforcement. This is where we really start to change your cat's behavior for the better by rewarding them for making good choices. Remember, cats aren't mind readers as much as we wish they were, so we need to clearly communicate what we want from them, and the best way to do that is through consistent positive reinforcement. The name of the game here is to catch your cat doing something right and reward them for it. So, every time you see your cat choosing to hang out on their cat tree, window perch, or anywhere else that's not the countertop, shower them with praise, treats, or a little playtime. Make them feel like they've just won the feline lottery. Clicker training is another super effective method that takes positive reinforcement to the next level. The idea is to associate the sound of a clicker with something positive like treats or praise. Start by clicking the clicker and immediately giving your cat a treat. Repeat this several times so they start to connect the click with something good. Once they have made that association, you can start using the clicker to mark desired behaviors, like staying off the counter. As soon as you see your cat backing away from the counter or choosing to go somewhere else, click the clicker and give them a treat. This way you're clearly communicating that they've made the right choice, and they'll be more likely to repeat that behavior in the future. Consistency is key here. The more consistent you are with rewarding your cat for good behavior, the faster they'll learn. Remember, cats are creatures of habit, so by consistently reinforcing the behaviors we want, we're helping them establish good habits that will last a lifetime. Now, even with the best training in the world, sometimes our feline overlords can be a little too clever for their own good. So let's talk about some extra tips and tricks to help you stay one step ahead of those mischievous paws. One of the biggest temptations for countertop cruising cats is, of course, food. I mean, can you blame them? The delicious smells wafting from the kitchen are practically irresistible. So, during meal prep and meal times, it's best to keep your cat confined to another room. This could be a bedroom, a bathroom, or even a secure cat carrier. The key is to keep them away from the kitchen while you're cooking or eating so they're not tempted to jump up on the counter and snag a snack. Once the food is put away and the coast is clear, you can let them back out to rejoin the family. Speaking of food, make sure your counters are always clean and clear of any tempting treats. Wipe down surfaces regularly to remove any lingering crumbs or spills that might attract your cat's attention. Remember, cats have a keen sense of smell, so even the faintest whiff of something tasty can send them on a countertop expedition. Store food in airtight containers, keep dirty dishes out of reach, and basically make your counters as uninteresting to your cat as possible. If you've got a particularly persistent countertop percher, you can also try using a deterrent mat. These mats are designed to give cats a little harmless static shock when they step on them. Now don't worry, it's not enough to hurt them, just enough to startle them and make them think twice about jumping up on the counter. Place the mat strategically near the edge of the counter, and your cat will quickly learn to associate that area with an unpleasant sensation. Just make sure the mat is clearly visible so your cat doesn't accidentally step on it and get spooked. Alright, we've covered a lot of ground here, but before we wrap things up, let's talk about what not to do when it comes to keeping your cat off the counters. Remember, our goal is to create a positive and harmonious environment for both you and your feline friend, and that means avoiding any methods that could scare, stress, or harm your cat. First and foremost, never, ever physically punish your cat for jumping on the counter. Hitting, yelling, or spraying them with water will only make them fearful and anxious, and it could even damage your bond. Remember, cats don't understand punishment the way we do. They're simply acting on their instincts, and it's our job to redirect those instincts in a positive and compassionate way. Instead of resorting to punishment, focus on rewarding the behaviors you want to see more of. Positive reinforcement is always the way to go. Along the same lines, avoid using any training methods that rely on fear or intimidation. For example, some people recommend using loud noises or sudden movements to startle their cats off the counter. While this might work in the short term, it can actually backfire in the long run by making your cat fearful and distrustful of you. Remember, we want our cats to feel safe and secure in their environment, and that means avoiding anything that could make them feel threatened or scared. Patience is key when it comes to training any animal, and cats are no exception. They learn at their own pace, and some cats might take longer than others to catch on. Don't get discouraged if you don't see results overnight. Just stay consistent with your training. Be patient, and remember to celebrate even the smallest victories. Every time your cat chooses to stay off the counter, it's a step in the right direction. Finally, remember that every cat is an individual, and what works for one cat might not work for another. It might take some trial and error to find the right combination of techniques that work best for your feline friend. Don't be afraid to experiment and adjust your approach as needed. The most important thing is to stay positive, be patient, and never give up on your cat. So there you have it, folks. Keeping your cat off the counter isn't about waging war. It's about understanding their needs and redirecting their natural instincts. Remember, cats are amazing creatures, and with a little patience and understanding, we can teach them to live harmoniously in our human world without sacrificing our sanity or our countertops. The key is to be consistent, patient, and above all, positive. Celebrate the small victories, focus on rewarding the good behavior, and most importantly, never give up on your feline friend. Remember, a happy cat is a well-adjusted cat, and a well-adjusted cat is far less likely to be scaling your kitchen cabinets. By creating a cat-friendly environment that caters to their natural instincts, you're not only keeping your counters cat-free, but you're also strengthening your bond with your furry companion and creating a more peaceful and harmonious home for everyone. So go out there, fellow cat lovers, and conquer those countertops. With a little time, effort, and a whole lot of love, you can create a cat-friendly haven where both you and your feline overlord can coexist in perfect harmony.